Yo, how are we doing, everybody? So today I'm doing a guide on Chapter 9 to Desert's End. Now, unlike some of the other chapters where generally we have the high ground and are using that to our advantage, in this map you basically start in the worst possible position, like the lowest part, well, near the lowest part of the map, and completely surrounded with everyone else having the high ground. Multiple archers that can take advantage of that and can start immediately shooting on you. And also there are blade units that can actually get in contact with your characters before they can even take their turn. For me, that's going to be my mages, as they are pretty much the slowest members of the group. But basically, my first goal here is just going to be to keep my mages alive. I'm just moving my units next to my mages to prevent like a blade or a rogue from just running in and stabbing them. I'm going to heal my shaman, who was the one that got targeted by an archer. Generally, they are going to target one of your mages, or basically anyone that, you know, is a little soft on the defensive side. And yeah, basically, because I'm surrounded by, I think it's 4 archers, 2 on the right side, 2 on the left side, you have to be really careful about how you proceed through here. Because yeah, just based on turn order, if you're not too careful, it's very easy for you to just immediately lose a unit. Obviously, in this game, you don't have to keep everyone alive, but losing someone right at the start is a pretty bad plan and will not help you in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, we're not gonna lose anybody here. So yeah, again, the whole idea is to cover my mages. So I'm using characters like Eridor, Benedix, Roland, and we are just going to be standing in the way. And then eventually my mages are going to be able to take their turns. And as soon as they are able to, we're just going to pull them as far back as we possibly can. I do still need to be careful, as archers, if they position in a way, they can definitely still get some shots in. But yeah, as long as, you know, we're just aware of that, keeping track of how much HP we have, keeping track of how many red lines are going towards them. Because like my first mage, my healer, actually, that pulled away, she was able to actually get to blue tiles, so she specifically is fine. But like Frederica here, she still has like 3 red lines. That's 3 potential people that can attack her, though I think only 2 of them are actually archers, but it really can only take 2 to knock them out. Thankfully, the AI, even on hard mode, which is what I'm playing on here, typically they don't really bully one unit in particular most of the time. Like my shaman is just getting bullied like really hard. But even though they'll have like an opportunity to, say, defeat Frederica if they would just focus fire on her instead, I find they usually don't do that. Like, I'm not entirely sure how the AI in this game works, but yeah, like obviously if there's only one person within their range, they will usually always go for that person, even if it were to put them in a bad position and they could easily get surrounded, or they are basically surrounding themselves by doing it. I do notice that they do that, but aside from that, where they actually can choose multiple targets, I know they prefer, you know, your allies that have lower defense, but even then, it is just kind of a little weird. But either way, we're going to be taking advantage of that here. We're just going to be moving everybody over to the left side. So now that we're coming over to the left side, like obviously first off, I want to blind the archers. That just means there's less shots going into my vulnerable party members. As you can see, Benedict here is taking a lot of damage as I'm trying to move everyone over to the bottom left, because there's so many units. You really do start in a precarious position, and we kind of have to you know, take some hits to keep these mages alive. So I highly suggest going into this battle, you need healing items, because your healer is not going to be able to keep everyone up through all the damage that's coming out. But, you know, thankfully everyone can use healing items, so do buy those. And it's not like you need the very expensive ones. Like, to have a few of those is good, because it, you know, gives you more utility, but you can simply buy the less expensive ones, and that'll cover you most of the time. And again, just through positioning, try to make sure that as you're retreating, you're not allowing yourself to be easily flanked. If that happens too many times, that character will probably die. And yeah, right here, just using Sanctuary, I can heal multiple units at the same time. And while I could have moved to those blue squares to be completely safe and not get my healer there targeted at all, I still chose to just move all the way over to the left. Because again, while, you know, the blue squares signal that they're safe, it's important to look at the full context of the situation. And really here, there's only 2 archers that can really target my troops once they've made it over to the bottom left, and one of them is blind. So essentially that is great, that is fine, and the more we move away from the troops on the right, the safer everyone is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this a bit, as again, everyone's just kind of moving down into the left. It does take me a while to do this, but yeah, you know, I can just reposition with my archer, get another blinding arrow off, and that's just fantastic. There are now basically no one on the left side that can deal damage to me. I mean, technically it's still a possibility that these archers can hit me even through the blind, but it's not very likely, and it's just not a big threat. And the other units like the blades and the rogues, they have gone to the center of the map, so they will have to work their way back up once I get over there. But the pathfinding for the AI, they get a bit confused with the fact that I'm like moving so far away. They don't really like register that, oh, he's planning on going up all the way around the map to the left and climbing up top. They don't recognize that. They're not setting up to ambush me in advance. We don't have to worry about any of that. It's really easy to defend myself from all of these troops here. So yeah, this positioning is really, really nice. But again, it does take me quite a few turns. Let's go ahead and skip forward again. And you can see here, I am actually starting to well, I have more than one unit up here. We have Anna, though Anna does just have like really good movement herself, and elevation doesn't bother her as much as most other characters. Everyone else is going to take a longer period of time to get up, so this is something to just be aware of. It shouldn't be a big problem. Like, again, most of the units are going to, that are on the right side, they're going to back off away from you, and so that means there's just not a lot of damage going in. And just do be aware that there's going to be some turns where basically you're not able to really accomplish anything. You're just moving over to the left. They can't really hit you, you can't really hit them, but you're setting up for a winning position. The only scary part is that the boss Booker, he starts to come towards you. However, he does not have immunity to blind. So that's basically going to be my plan here. I'm going to set him up with blind. And then unlike basically the last 2 chapters, this boss deals very low damage relatively. So a lot of units, even on hard mode, can tank a few hits from him. He gets to act 2 times per turn. So obviously in 2 turns, he can still kill someone depending on what the character is, what their stats are. But just again, relatively, his damage is kind of low. So we're going to skip forward again. Yeah, there's the blinding arrow I was talking about. That character is now blinded, which makes it so much easier for me to move forward. I'm not even scared to have my archer right next to Booker there, as, yeah, even if he could get like one of his 2 hits off, it's probably not going to deal that much damage. And again, that's just how good blind is here, because Booker attacks twice. And he has a specialty where he deals more damage after inflicting a status ailment. So normally, like, on the first attack, he goes to poison you, and then on the second attack, he's just trying to do raw damage. But if you can only land one of those, then you severely reduce the damage you're taking in anyways. I mean, possibly he'll just miss both, but yeah, either way, it's like, it's very, very good. And blind is just very, very useful against him. It's a little scary here because a lot of my units aren't really able to help with the fight, but again, it's just those 2 units right now. It's just that archer and Booker, and they are both blind. So once again, let me fast forward a bit and a bit more. So yeah, now I have more people up here. I'm just trying to get rid of the archer just so he can't like get flanking damage on Roland. Roland, I'm now trying to set him up so that he can protect everyone on this side, as there's really only one way to fight my units on this side. There's just a narrow path that has these little wooden railings. You can see it right next to Booker. If I can take that position, then the boss, well, not the boss, all of the enemies will not be able to pour into here. Obviously, the main focus for right now is Booker himself. He does need to go down, as even while blind, he is still a potential threat. So focusing him, he doesn't really have his allies. They're like racing their way over here, but since Booker can take 2 turns, he got here so much faster than everybody else. Plus, he just has really good movement. Plus, he was in a good position. Plus, you know, the AI is just kind of bad. So we take full advantage of that. And yeah, like, it's a bit scary moving Roland into this position when I don't have the boss defeated yet. But as long as you're on top of, like, utilizing healing items, utilizing, the Quistis, I think it's called, where basically you can just heal any ally even when it's not their turn, you're not a healer or whatever, you just throw a like 50% heal. As long as you're taking advantage of things like that, you're in a very, very good spot. Because yeah, the Restore Quietus, I think that's how you say it. Yeah, I'm just going to throw that on the Roland since I couldn't individually heal him through items or through actually utilizing my healer. But yeah, not a problem. Again, very scary because there's like so many troops here, but again, as long as you're taking your time using all of your options that are available to you, it's going to be okay. So yeah, I'm just going to fast forward a little bit more. And yeah, like the focus again is Booker. We want to get him down first. And yeah, he does not have the HP to withstand like everyone attacking into him, his team not being there to help him out. But unlike some of the other chapters, this does not end. Once you've defeated the boss, you still have to defeat the other units. But again, we're already in a winning position. Basically, because we did that long trek all the way from the left side, climbing up top, blinding the archers, etc. We now find ourselves in a position where Roland's basically blocking everyone, and then yeah, right here, the bulwark to increase the defense. But yeah, Roland is basically just blocking everything. Obviously, Eredor and Serenoa are better for like creating a blockade because they have the higher defense. But Roland just happened to be the one that got there first. He has the higher movement. So depending on like how closely you're following what I'm doing, you might be able to substitute them depending on like turn order, what your team composition is. And by all means, you know, feel free to do so because they are literally just better at it. But this is just how it played out for me. But yeah, they cannot all attack into me. They are basically stopped right here. I did get pushed back a bit. If I had positioned someone behind Roland, the knockback wouldn't have been effective. I probably should have utilized that, but we're still fine as Benedict is basically covering that other slot, and we'll be able to push them back. Again, they're not really a threat here, is only so many of them can attack into me. This positioning is just so perfect, and I can continue to throw out blinds with Huet. But yeah, let's go ahead and skip ahead. Yeah, as you can see, really not a problem. Like, I can out-heal the damage going in. And with that being the case, we're just going to slowly but surely knock down these enemy units, because they're the same units we've been dealing with for basically all of the game. Just, like, the only difference are the rogues. The rogues, they can, like, climb up walls immediately in one turn. But if you have all of your troops on the top of the wall, they can't do anything, and they have to walk around like normal units just like everybody else. And then yeah, with that being the case, you just kind of yeah, just finish them all off. I went a little too far forward there because yeah, I think there's one enemy that's left here. I wanted to at least show that. And then yeah, something I do try to do at this final point, like, you can still be getting experience. even if like the fight's basically over, there's no reason to skip turns. If you have abilities you can use, you might as well use them and gain that experience so that you potentially gain another level and are even stronger going into the next chapter. But yeah, that is going to be my guide for chapter 9. If you enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you use a different strategy, definitely hit me up with that. But yeah, that is going to be me. Peace. I will see y'all in the next one.